Hi everyone, my name's Jillian and I'm the projects coordinator here at Cal Kappa. Today I'm going to discuss the importance of outcome measurement in our Region 9 R9PIC reporting. By the end of this presentation, you'll have a clear understanding of where our R9PIC outcomes come from, the outcomes relevant to the R9PIC CAAs, and the next steps you'll need to take to help us achieve our shared goals for the upcoming R9PIC semi-annual report. First, let me briefly introduce you to the Kirkpatrick model, which breaks down outcomes into 4 different levels: reaction, learning, behavior, and results. Level 1, reaction. This is all about the participants' immediate feedback. Did they find the program engaging and relevant? Did they find it valuable? It's important to capture their initial impressions, and we usually do this through some kind of post-training feedback form or survey. Level 2, learning. Here we assess what the participants actually learned. Did they gain the knowledge or skills that we intended to teach them? So this tells us if those educational objectives were met. Level 3, behavior. This looks at how participants apply what they've learned once they're back in their everyday work environments. So are they using the skills that they learned in their work or life? This helps us see if a program is really making a difference. It usually requires some kind of follow-up. Some programs and trainings lead to immediate behavior change, but usually you want to check back in with folks 30, 60, and 90 days post-training to determine if what they've learned has actually been applied. And then finally, level 4 results is the big picture. This level measures the program's overall impact on the organization or community. So are we seeing tangible improvements like better performance or positive social outcomes? So as we begin to measure outcomes, we want to focus on these level 3 and level 4 outcomes because they help us measure the true impact of program and training. You'll notice that most of our R9PIC outcomes are mostly levels 3 and 4. So why is measuring outcomes important? Outcomes tell us whether a program is actually making a difference in people's lives. It's not just enough to track what we've done, our activities and outputs, but we need to know if those actions are leading to meaningful change. By focusing on outcomes, we ensure that our training and technical assistance offerings are truly effective and that we're meeting the needs of our CAAs. We've done really well at tracking and reporting our activities and even our outputs to R9PIC, but now it's really important that we focus on measuring outcomes so that we can better show the impact of our region to the R9PIC. So where do these outcomes come from? The R9PIC outcomes come from our Region 9 TNTA plan, our work plan, and our logic models that are all linked here if you wanted some background or you're interested in learning more about the outcomes. Feel free to look through these documents. They're all linked here. Yeah. So next, levels of intervention. For the purposes of outcome measurement for R9PIC, we're focusing on these 4 levels of intervention. But the ones that we need specific help from our CAAs are these CSBG eligible entity level outcomes and the CAA staff level outcomes. So I know this is kind of overwhelming, but these are all of the CSBG eligible entity level outcomes. So these are the ones, I think there's 19 of them. These are the ones that we would really like you guys to familiarize yourselves with, because even if we don't necessarily need your help measuring them, we definitely need your help to achieve these 19 outcomes. So for example, if you see something on here that maybe your agency isn't focusing on, you could take that back to your team to address how your agency might be able to complete that outcome for this R9PIC cycle, especially these ones that we are seeking over 75% completion for. Those ones, maybe you want to ask for some training if it's something that you are struggling with. So how will we measure these outcomes? So there's a few different ways we're going to go about measuring all of these outcomes, and of course the other levels of intervention outcomes as well. So first, here at Cal Kappa, we use Airtable, which is our data collection system to keep track of our trainings, our rosters, attendance sheets, and pre and post surveys. So we use this system to measure some of our outcomes and to help determine what we need to do to follow up to be able to measure some of those other outcomes. So for example, we recently did a storytelling training whose roster I will use to send a follow-up email to measure whether those attendees felt like they increased their storytelling knowledge, which is one of these outcomes down here, report expanded knowledge of storytelling. So at other state associations, they have similar ways of tracking this information, but we use this system called Airtable. So second, we use the data that we already have on hand from your organizational standards reports and your annual reports. We actually just received the data from the 2022 and 2023 reports, which we'll use as this baseline for our outcome measurement. Third, like I said before, I'll be working on individual follow-up with training and technical assistance attendees. This may come in the form of an email or a phone call. And then finally, I'll be using outcome measurement surveys to measure the outcomes which need to be addressed more specifically and uniformly and are of high priority. So for the CSBG eligible entity level outcomes, there's one survey that I would really like for all of the R9PIC agencies to complete. And it's really short. This is the CSBG eligible entity outcome measurement survey. And as you can see, there's only 6 questions. It should take less than 5 minutes to complete. On SurveyMonkey right now, the current average completion time is only 1 minute, so hopefully less than that. I plan on administering these surveys probably semi-annually around reporting time to measure our progress towards these outcome goals. The goal is to keep it short and sweet, but there may be questions added or removed from this once we get through the cycle and see what works and what doesn't. Also, this is just a baseline survey, so it's totally fine if your agency isn't necessarily meeting all of these outcomes that we're trying to measure. We just want to get this information so we know where to go from here. So the due date for this survey is October 1st. So if you could please have someone from your agency complete the survey before then, that would be great. Okay, so next steps. These links are specifically related to California CAA. So if you're watching this from another state, please refer to the email that this video link was sent to you in, as it might have your survey collection link for your state. And if you can't find it, reach out to your state association or state office for more information. But if you're California CAA, these links might be really helpful. You can find the survey link right here. I'll also attach it in the email. This link to the outcome measurement tools Excel sheet that I created so that you can see exactly which outcomes we're measuring and how we're going to go about measuring those outcomes. And then if you're looking through those outcomes, like I said, and you notice an area of growth for your agency, which could be assisted by training or technical assistance from CalCAPA, this link will take you to the TNTA request form on the CalCAPA website. So if you, like I said, if you're an agency from another state, please use their request forms or reach out to your association. But for California CEAs, feel free to use these links. And then finally, if anyone has any other questions or concerns, please reach out to me at this email. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.